Hi everyone, welcome to the 15th, wow, episode of Never Over the Hil. I am welcoming my friend and super talented designer, Laura Deutsch. Okay, wait, I have to start over.
That's fine.
I have to start over.
Yeah,
okay,
all
right. Should I count?
Start over.
Okay, all right. You think this is the first time that I did this?
That's
but
okay.
It's not, clearly. Okay.
Oh, you're making her nervous. I like it.
Yeah, no,
It's the Virgo perfection
Yeah.
energy. Yeah. Okay. All right. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 15th episode of Never Over the Hil. Today's guest is my friend Laura Deutsch of HiLo Brooklyn. It is a custom seating company. And it's actually funny because we're sitting on a couch that Laura designed for me. This is the famous Never Over the Hil couch now. And we met through my brother and Laura's now husband. And we immediately, I was like, I love what you're doing. She takes vintage seating, couches, chairs, and really amazing pieces from anywhere from the 60s, the 50s to the 90s, and reimagines them and reworks them. And we're both Virgos. We have our birthdays are a day apart. So there was this energy. I was like, I have to do something with this woman. So here we are. I'm going to pass the mic to you, and you can just tell us a little bit about how you got started in this business.
Yeah, so thank you for having me on.
Yes,
I appreciate
thank
it.
you for coming.
So basically, the way that I started was I have been obsessed with interior design my whole life, but always felt sort of inferior to it because I didn't go to school for it. So I've been in the wine industry for my entire career. So from 21 to 2 years ago, I fell into it. It's what my mom did. And basically just always oozed creativity. Like in my style, my fashion, I was always building things and also spending a ton of money on apartments. I would move from apartment to apartment, and I would do this full-on interior design and renovate kitchens. Ridiculous.
In apartments that you owned?
No.
Wow.
I spent so much money on these dumb landlords.
Right.
And once I was done, I was like, okay, I'm bored. Let's go. So I would move to a different place, and then I would spend a ton of money, and it was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Until somebody told me, why don't you invest in yourself? And then the pandemic hit, and I finally was just about to do another apartment, and I was like, this is so dumb. I was also at that time starting to really become obsessed with rehab and seeing pieces come back to life.
Right. So rehab meaning taking something old and making it...
refinishing it.
Yes.
Yeah. And seeing it brand new. Brand new. And that was really inspiring to me. And I thought, I can do that. I didn't want to just start a vintage company. I didn't want to be here's a vintage furniture company, because it's just kind of what a lot of people do. I wanted something that was more me, which was going to be vintage, but then fully, not redesigned even at that point. It was just fully redone.
Yes.
So wood pieces that were immaculately refurbished, seating that was reupholstered. And it was going to be for the people. It was here's all of this for the people, because I'm going to make it super affordable. And
right. I mean, that's what we wish, but
we dream.
People don't understand until you're in it because it's craftsmanship.
It is.
That you're...
Yes. So unfortunately, right? So people need to... They study this. They work so hard. It's such a beautiful craft. It takes so much talent to do this type of work.
Right.
The physical labor and the attention to detail and knowing the certain products and different tools to use and the sleight of hand, everything. It's so detailed. And it's very expensive because, in a world where we're just working off of assembly line furniture, we lose that craftsman.
Yes.
We lose that touch.
Honestly, I talk about this all the time, is that you're essentially, keeping art, a business alive by using these craftsmen and these people who have in many cases had a business passed down to them from generation to generation, and it is a dying art. You know, my father was a furniture maker and cabinet maker, and when you can just go to IKEA, and IKEA has its place. Like, you know, these box stores have a place in this grand scheme of things, but like I use a small factory in New York City to sew my clothing, and it's cut and sewn by the same person, one by one by one. And there's something to be said for that.
100%.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really sad that it's a dying art because we need this.
We
like,
do.
This is what we need
Yeah.
in order to become individualistic, like in
Yes.
order to become not this like generic,
Yes.
you know, like we're living in like the world of WALL-E,
Yeah.
right?
Oh my God, I say that all the time.
It's so scary.
It's so scary.
It's
We're
very
like
scary.
ordering things from a screen in front of our faces and having them delivered like right to
Into
our
our mouth.
Yeah. So anyway, I fully embrace and appreciate what you do so much that every time I see one of Laura's pieces on her Instagram that she so well curates these photo shoots for and styles everything, it's just like, I want it all. And you will too when you check out these images. And also you feel like you're a part of the design process, which is so cool and so important. Anyway, so I'm going to jump right into the questions.
Sure.
My first question is, do you have a daily uniform?
Well, unfortunately, with dealing with furniture, you know, I have this like ambitious idea of I want to be in the cutest outfit all the time because like
These overalls
when I'm
are amazing. Oh my God, I love them.
When I'm client facing, like I do try to dress up and be, you know, cool, you know, but honestly, it's every time I'm feeling good, I want to wear something cute, it gets ruined.
Yeah.
It gets a hole in it.
Right.
It gets an oil spot on it
Right.
because I'm like, you know, sanding something down or lifting something.
Right.
And it just is not. So yeah, so my uniform is typically, I try to get like cute fitted jeans, but
Right.
jeans,
Okay.
Doc Martens.
Okay.
And some sort of like flannel or a thermal.
Right. But I mean, that could be cute.
But
That
I
probably
don't
is
think it's cute.
Okay.
But maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I try, like
Right.
I really want to like rock the casual cute.
Right.
But I don't feel like I ace it.
Okay.
And
well, you're acing it right now.
Thank you.
I'll just tell
but
you
I
that.
would never wear this. I mean, maybe I could never. This would just get destroyed.
Yeah. Okay. No. Right. So you might have a daily uniform when you're working.
Yes.
But then, what is it that you gravitate towards when you're not working?
So I have this like insane collection of like vintage pieces, and I mean, anytime I have an opportunity to wear them, it's like the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
So I just have like really amazing, like I've got, and they're so like special to me.
Yes. So, like, tell us about these overalls.
Yeah, these are Faded Glories from the 70s. And I don't know, I think they were originally made from Faded Glory. I don't think somebody like went and put these patches on, but
Okay.
maybe they did. I don't know.
Right.
But they are from the 70s, and I got
Where
them
did
in
you get them?
Austin, Texas,
Yeah.
at this vintage store. I paid so much money for them, but I needed them.
Yeah.
I
They
walked
just called
by,
to you.
they were in the window, and I was like, holy.
And they fit you perfectly.
And
so.
they fit, like, when I tried them on, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
forget it.
Done.
So, you know, yeah, they're insane. I love them so much,
Yeah.
and they're special to
Right.
me.
So, do you have a name for your style?
No name.
Okay.
But I would say when I'm feeling I mean, everything is like 70s, 60s, 70s. Like I'm
Okay.
obsessed with mod.
Okay.
Like in all of my like seating, you'll see a nice thread of like mod prints and like super 70s, you know, flame stitch or something really cool.
So, like, explain to people who don't know what mod is. Like, what like designers or like who is it? Like the Beatles?
Yeah,
Is it
I would
like
definitely say like
London?
Beatles, London, 1960s.
Okay.
Like Austin Powers, I
Yes,
used to say
okay.
it, but
Right.
like,
Yeah.
you know, very like bold block print, like bold.
Mondrian, Mary Quant.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like just also minis. So I'm short, so I've always I'm obsessed with proportions, and so in order to make my legs feel longer,
100%.
I wear the ittiest bittiest
Yes. Yeah.
things. They're not great because you know I can't like bend over
Right.
and do anything in it. But like all of my stuff is itty bitty because it just works.
100%. I was talking the other day about how like I want to love long dresses, but every time I put one on, and I have a lot of cool vintage ones, and every time I put one on, I'm like, I just wish this was like on super short.
Yeah.
And it would be.
You need to add a slit.
Yes. Yeah.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
You just get the like super long dress. You get a really high slit.
Yeah. But then like you really need your leg to be sticking out.
Yeah.
To make
so you just
it, like
like
really. Remember that Angelina Jolie, like,
Yes.
they took the photo of her, like, and her leg looks like it's, like, not even attached to her body? Yeah. So I'm hearing mod. So that's, like, one description.
Okay, so mod.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, definitely vintage. I mean, I hate to say that. That's, like, such a broad. But everything that I own that I love is vintage. Or I have an obsession with, like, luxury designers.
Okay.
And so, you know, like, Gucci, of course.
Okay.
You know, especially like a lot of their mod stuff.
Yes.
Like very like
Yeah,
or they're
yeah.
big like they do like the big stripes with the giant like
Almost
bee.
like racing? sort of?
Yes,
Yeah, like
yeah.
racing stripes. Yeah. But that reads vintage.
Yes,
So that makes
everything
total sense.
everything that I have is like reads vintage. So yeah, so I don't know, mod, vintage,
Luxury.
chic.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, and even, so when you get a like a high-end luxury piece, are you buying it resale? Are you buying it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm always buying my luxury resale.
Yeah.
I typically, like, I just bought a pair of Gucci, the little the loafers with the horse
Bit?
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got them for like $200.
Wow.
They're brand new.
That's amazing.
And they're worth, I mean, even online secondhand, they're like $1,000.
Wow.
And
So
they're
you have
beautiful.
like your sources that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just
that you
Facebook
want-
Marketplace. I mean, it's amazing. You just have to. I'm just always on it.
Yeah.
So like, I find the coolest things. Like,
Yes.
I'm always shopping for sofas. So
It's like a real talent to be good at Facebook Marketplace. My partner Nina is amazing at it, and I'm always like, I'm jealous of that skill. It's like a skill.
Well, it's because you need it. Like, if you need it, you use it and you
Yeah.
learn it, and then it's your tool. It's
Yeah.
like anything else. I think when people have like these weird niches, like there's somebody I follow on Instagram that has like vintage tiles. Her business is vintage tiles, and I'm like, I don't even know where to begin
Yes.
to try and source
Right.
vintage tiles.
Yeah.
But once you start to do it and you do it all the time,
Right.
it becomes your thing,
Yes.
and you know exactly where to look and how to
Right.
find it. And it's the same thing when it comes to sofas, when it comes to vintage clothes. I try not to shop for clothing.
Yes.
It's just it comes to
Totally.
me. Of course, you
Well-
know, our Instagram and our Facebook is listening to us. Our phones are listening to us. So,
Oh,
of course,
yep.
it's feeding me
Yes.
stuff all the time.
Yes.
But I don't really respect clothing unless it's high-end.
Yes.
And I don't mean high-end. Like, it has to be,
you
like,
know, okay.
crazy expensive. Or,
You
like,
and I have to take a trip out to Montauk, Amagansett, to another friend of mine, Deep Blue Vintage. She has, you would flip out all of the vintage Gucci and Ferrari and racing pieces and crazy. I mean, her collection, and she does all the research, so like everything is like
authenticated.
yes,
Beautiful. I
Not,
love
I don't
that.
even know if it's. I don't know what that means exactly. Like it's, I don't maybe, but it's also the research. She shops a lot in Europe, and it's like she knows what era, what year everything is from, and it's cleaned and it's mended and the whole thing. So
I dream of places like
yeah,
that.
yeah. So we got to go. That would be a fun road trip to take. It's not that far, but you know. So anyway, when you are when you have something to do, like an event to go to or something, what are you reaching for? Like, what is your like thing that it could be a style or an actual piece of clothing that you're reaching for to be like, this makes me feel like $1 million bucks?
It depends on the event. But for instance, I can give you an example. I don't even know what I bought this for, but I think it's like the clothing speaks to me. It's like not the event.
Yes.
And so if I have an event and my like little light bulbs up, all of a sudden I'm shopping.
Yes.
So gravitating, it's like, I don't even know. It's what steals the show.
Right.
It's like I'm captivated by certain things, certain textures, and it's typically like mod.
Okay.
It's typically mod.
Yeah.
So I bought this insane dress that I'm dying to like wear it, and I have nowhere to wear it. But I love altering things. Like it was a floor length like weird disco paisley, like light pink, light green paisley pattern, super 60s, high neck collar, bell sleeves, but long. So what I did was I chopped it to a mini.
Amazing.
And it's beautiful. It's a mini with these bell sleeves and these beautiful like soft colors, but like they shine. There's shimmer to it. Oh, it's unreal.
I can picture it, totally picture it in my
unreal.
head. You know, something, I was just thinking about this, when you do your photo shoots for the furniture, sometimes you have like an outfit or sexy, very sexy little look. Do you use your own pieces in your collection?
So I do. So I try and like highlight. I told my photographer many times that I'm going to, at some point, like photograph every piece of clothing that I own and every shoe that I own.
Such a Virgo thing, I swear. I'm just like laughing because I've said this.
Because I'm obsessed with everything that I have.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, unfortunately, every sofa, you know, doesn't necessarily call for what I necessarily own. So sometimes I find myself kind of like I need to go source something. I need to go pick something up.
Yeah.
And that's when it's like time to get down and, you know, figure it out.
Yeah.
But my dream would be to have a ton of connections in the city and just borrow, right?
Yes.
Like John Fluvog lets me borrow all their shoes whenever I do.
Is that what you're
photography.
wearing?
Yeah, I bought these though,
Yeah.
but
They're very cool.
so cool. But so I have a couple people I can pull from, but in a perfect world, it would be, I mean,
You can pull from here.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. A little far for me to drive, but
Yeah.
I think we could figure that out. That would be amazing.
Well, like if you see something in here, like a jacket that you're like, I have a couch that I need to.
Yes.
Then, you know, we can work it
Absolutely.
out.
I mean,
I'll drive it into Brooklyn.
I'm dying
for
to
you.
get a set from you. I
Yeah.
love a good matching set.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
And the way your stuff fits is so
Yeah.
cute. Just
We'll
perfect for our bodies.
make that happen,
Yeah.
totally. Okay. So I have a really specific question for you because of your business. What sets you apart from, you know, a person who takes a vintage piece of furniture, a vintage couch, and just has it reupholstered?
Awesome, thank you. What actually makes us stand out is that we're a custom seating company, and what that means is, well, we're actually a sustainable custom seating company, and what we do is we specialize in working on vintage and recycled frames. And so what that means sometimes is like finding the perfect vintage piece and just redressing it in like the most amazing fabric, right? Giving it like brand new life and looking better than it's ever looked before. But a lot of the time, and my most favorite times, are when we get to reimagine and redesign a piece completely from scratch. So essentially, I go shop the bones of the piece. So if we're looking for like, I don't know, a serpentine or something that's got cool shapes or curves, and then we find something that's got an interesting curve, but it's maybe not a 90-degree angle that we need to fit into a space. Guess what we're going to do? We're going to cut it, and then we're going to reshape it to fit into that space. So it's custom tailored for you. So it's vintage, custom tailored. And so my clients that come to me are looking for a vintage piece, because vintage is so cool, but the issue with vintage is it is what it is.
Yes.
Oh no, it's too big or too small.
Right.
Well, what we do is we make it so it's not too big or too small. We tailor it to you.
Yes.
So in the upholstery process, when we take it all apart, because we're working with hardwood material, we're able to manipulate that hardwood. So make it 6 inches longer, cut it 6 inches, add a new arm. A lot of the time, if I like again, like talking about how, what do I love about a piece and what do I not like about a piece, I change everything that I don't like. So if it's an arm, I'll redesign the arm. If the client wants a deeper seat, we're going to add that 6 inches to the seat.
That is really quite a thing that you do.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of working with a hardwood, and that's why we work mostly exclusively with vintage pieces, because it's like buying a house. You buy it with good bones because you can manipulate it.
Yes. Yeah, so that really, I mean, what you do is way more than just throwing some new fabric onto a piece.
100%.
Yeah, and I actually think that is such a skill and talent to have. I mean, you're taking like math into it. You're taking like measurements and like really rethinking it while still keeping the integrity.
Of course, that's number one. Yeah. So I have clients who are like, can we do this and this and this and this? And I'm like, well, yes, we can do anything. But for me, as a designer, for me, it's like important to keep the integrity of the piece. So like when somebody wants added chrome, like we're going to do it on the appropriate piece. Like I wouldn't do it to like a 1960s, slim lined, piece that has wood detailing. Like
Right.
we're not going to add chrome to
Right.
that.
So, I mean, you're also keeping it in mind, the history.
Of course.
Yeah. So that's very special.
We don't mess with the high designer stuff too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like if a Milo Bowman piece comes in a really
Right.
cool shape, you know, I'm not going to mess with the design, but what
Right.
I will mess with are the dimensions.
Yes.
So that's kind of the coolest part.
Yes. I love it. And it's really is. It's sustainable and bespoke and you can get exactly what you want. Yeah. I
Totally.
love that. It's such a talent. So yeah, that's amazing. So thank you for sharing that because it's hard to sometimes for people to understand like really the detail of what goes into something. So.
Yes, I agree. And that's like really what I'm trying to run with this year is the story of why what we do is so different and so cool. And it's the new wave of custom, right? It's a new way to look at custom.
Yes.
And people ask me all the time, they're like, why not just build, if it costs this much and we're doing this much change to a piece, why don't we just build custom from the ground up? And I'm like, because we're saving the planet.
Yes. Yep. Well, my new website is actually going to have a ticker that goes by that says saving the planet one towel at a time, one vintage towel at a time. Yours is saving the planet one vintage couch at a time.
Yeah. And
if we all work together.
Absolutely. We're going to, you know, and that's the thing. It's like, you know, I just saw a documentary on like the neon signs, just an advertisement for a documentary on the neon signs. And like, I want to create this like documentary series of like the sad sofa that's like in the dump.
Okay, let's create the documentary together.
We should.
We should.
We do. We go like we're hunters.
Yes.
We go and we like salvage these pieces.
Yes.
We like save them from disposal, being
totally
put into a
from
landfill.
The landfill.
We take it. It's super dramatic.
Yeah.
We're gonna load it up. And
yeah, it's amazing.
I want to be on HGTV.
The Virgos saving the planet.
Yes.
September 1st, September 2nd. I was like, I knew I liked you. Anyway, all right, let me ask you a really crazy question. If you had any vintage couch, any vintage piece in the world that you could work on, and you could, you know, have your dream client, what piece would it be and who would it be for?
Well, I actually think that my dream pieces are essentially the ones that I design and create myself. So it wouldn't be a designer piece specifically.
Okay.
And then as far as the client, I don't know. I think I'll just tell you my dream scenario.
Okay.
Here's my dream scenario is that I want to in the near future start creating a mini collection series where it is based on a certain like any collection, right? So spring, summer, winter.
Okay.
But it's based on a theme. And I have a couple of things brewing.
Okay.
And so, you know, I don't have a lot of space.
Okay.
But it's my absolute dream to make these pieces and to completely transform them and style them with what I want to.
Right.
Because I work, you know, closely with clients. And so I sometimes get my way, but a lot of the time it's a collaboration.
Yes.
But I want to do solely what I want. And I want people to see my vision and my artistry.
So I feel like what you're saying is that your dream client is you.
Yes.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I totally get that, and that's amazing. But also, what I think you need to manifest is, I think you need a showroom. I think you need a space that is like, seriously, like glossy white or whatever it is, empty, blank canvas that you can kind of style like a TV set or like this whole. Yeah. Because I'm thinking, like you need this this. Maybe you're doing collections based off of like vintage TV shows and
I love
movies.
that. I love that. I've done the Brady Bunch.
Yes,
stuff.
I know. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That
It's
was like
amazing.
such a fun project.
Yeah, totally.
And I actually had a client who, recently who I'm working with now, she came in with, she has this favorite artist, and she gave me a paint. She's like, I want you to make the sofa in the painting. And I was like, there's a chair in the painting. And I was like, yes. So
That's
I'm actually
so cool. That's very
creating
meta.
something.
Is that like what it's called? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Like it's like in the art, and then it's you take it out, and it's like in real life.
Yes. And it's got this like, we're just making it. I mean, it's just the most fun project because I get to make art out of a piece.
Yes.
And so we're not custom building her chair. I sourced her chair, which we're then completely changing. The arms are different. The back is different.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, completely.
Right.
And it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so much
And so
fun.
yes, showroom.
There's
I'm
lots
in the city.
to come. Yeah,
Yes.
no, I know.
It's expensive.
Yeah, I
but
know.
yes, that is what I'm aiming and working towards for sure.
Cool. Amazing. Lots of really good things to come.
Thank you.
Let's see. So you did describe your style in 3 words. Here's a question. Did, growing up, did the way that you dressed and the way that you, your style when you were younger, did it influence your career choice?
I would say, design, yes. I wouldn't say, textiles in general are like the love of my life.
Right.
And I think that helped me develop a sense of taste and refinement for
Yes.
like quality. And so when I'm shopping for clients and when I'm dressing these pieces, I know the difference between a printed velvet and a woven, velvet. So it's like, it's the difference between just the depth, the texture, the everything. Like, you can't beat a woven fabric.
And you taught yourself this.
Yeah.
So
I'm still learning.
Yeah, no, but it's amazing because I feel like it's this whole idea that when you're interested in something, just people in general, that's what they should focus on because it creates like a business that you don't, of course it's stressful to have your own business, but it's like you can see your passion for what you do and you're teaching it to yourself as you go and like educating yourself and talking to all these different people and
which is interesting because I think I struggled with being passionate about what I did for so long and I was like, what's wrong with me? Why am I not in this? Why don't I want to learn?
Right.
And so my husband's in the wine industry and he is a somm and he loves what he does. And he wants to learn about wine. And I just, when I met him, I wanted nothing to do with wine other than drink it.
Right.
And,
but you guys met in the wine industry.
that was just what we had in common.
Okay.
But, very different. Like he aspires to be in the wine industry. I aspired to get out of the wine industry.
So then you're like growing up, you were like, you loved design always. And then you got into wine because of your mom. And so then you came back to like what you had always wanted to do.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I wanted to carve out something for myself. And for me, I've always wanted to be an interior designer. But thought it was too grand, too big, too much, and overwhelming for me to start. But when I started to think about how I wanted to refurbish these items, then I did my first sofa. And I just upholstered it as is. It was a beautiful piece. It was unbelievable. I found this most amazing 1960s, 1950s 3-piece sectional. It had the coolest curves. And
this was for a customer? Or
this was not. This was me just
Okay.
upholstering it on my own dime and seeing if it will sell. And it got so much attention. And I had so much fun doing it. It was terrifying. It was like a roller coaster. It was like, did I make the right decision? Oh my God,
Right.
it's too loud. I hate it. When I got it, I was like, I hate it. I love it. I hate it. And then it was like, okay, I love it.
Yeah.
And then everyone loved it. I was like, okay, I really
Right.
love it.
Because you got that, like, you needed that first little bit of validation.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still do sometimes. Actually,
Yeah.
not as much anymore.
I know.
Now,
I hear you.
Now I'm like, if I love it, I keep touching my mic. If I like it, I don't really care.
Yes.
Because I know I have such an awesome eye.
Yes.
That if I trust my eye.
Right.
And so when I fall in love with something, I'm like, something's wrong with you if you don't like
Totally.
it.
Yes. Well, it's like you can't be for everyone. If you're for everyone, you're for no one. So it's the same thing like when I was discovering like my love of vintage, because textiles are my passion as well, but vintage textiles and new, because I do appreciate craftsmanship of a really great fabric manufacturer or whatever you call them, right?
Yeah.
Like when we went to the D&D building, I was like losing my mind. But I thought to myself, well, if I love this so much, these vintage towels, there has to be at least one other person in the world that's going to love it. And if that one person loves it, it's like, you're making things for now, very personalized things. So
yeah. And I, back to what you're saying about like vintage textiles, I would give anything to do my sofas in vintage textiles. But unfortunately, there's just not enough out there. I can find like remnants of maybe the most 10 yards. And each project I need 26, 30 yards for. So it's like, we can make pillows, we can do a small chair.
yeah, you're going to start to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to start making pillows.
Yeah.
And tote bags. I know that sounds kind of silly and
No,
small, but it's like...
we're going to have them here. I would love to. If you,
Yeah,
that would be
absolutely. I would love
amazing.
that. And, it's just another way to like, I don't know, just sort of give people a touch of something that's handmade and something that's like one of a kind.
Like a little luxury,
gorgeous.
a little piece of luxury. If they can't, especially for the people who like, they don't have the budget to do, they can still have a little piece of HiLo. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so I want to hop back in time and see if you remember having a fashion faux pas or like a fashion mistake that you made that you were like, look back and you're like, I cannot believe I wore that.
Well, you know, I am going through a little bit of a fashion crisis now because I used to be so obsessed about being so tailored to everything that I wore. Like, everything had to be perfect, and I was miserable if it wasn't. Like, I wouldn't leave the house. So I used to have my hair straight, bob cut, like bangs, and I just always looked perfect.
Okay.
And it was always like a cute, chic, sexy, tailored kind of look.
Right.
Like very, like Saint Laurent.
Okay.
Slash, I don't know, like Moschino.
Okay.
And so like funk, whatever. So
I think you look perfect right now.
Thank you.
So.
But like I struggle with it because like my hair, I feel like I need to get a haircut, and I'm just like, I think it's just I'm
overanalyzing.
Yeah, like you know, the perfectionist, like Virgo perfectionist.
Yep.
And so it's like my hair needs to get cut. I feel like it's too big. It's like the proportion. Like maybe I should. I'm just. Honestly, I could go on, but I'm not going to. Thank you. I came here wearing this, so I'm happy that I did. But, you know, so right now I'm going through a little bit of a fashion crisis because I'm losing, and it's been actually a couple years, I'm losing the perfectionist in me.
But that is the natural cycle of where you're supposed to be.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree, but I'm trying to retailor it to be a little bit, I want to be cute casual, but I don't really know how to do that and still feel sexy.
Right.
Because sexy has always been such a important part of my fashion, and that's just simply because because being small, looking young, you know, people always would say I'm cute, you know, and like for me, sex appeal was like really important.
I actually think you exude that naturally, just so you know.
Great.
Just so I think no matter what, you know, I've been with you a couple of times before this. You have a thing about you. So I feel like that actually should be added to your description of your style because there is something in there that's like, there's a sex appeal regardless of whether you're wearing overalls with patches or you're wearing like a mini dress or you're wearing like a really tailored thing. I think that's just who you are.
Yeah.
And I think it shows up in your work. When I brought this couch home, and it was in my house first, and then I brought it here, even though 2 pieces of it are still in my home, and I love that I can have it in both places. I took a photo of it, and someone said, that's very Tom Ford. And that was so appealing to me. And that's
cool.
because you have that aspect of like that. There's something, So... But I want to know if there was like a fashion mistake that you made.
So I don't have like one because I've made many mistakes. But there's a time in my life where I was like trying to like come out of my shell when I was in my middle school.
Okay.
And I was trying to define myself. And I had my best friend was like, you know, punk. Like, so, but it wasn't like punk. It was like candy punk. It was like Dickies, so I had every color Dickie of the rainbows, every color Dickies of the rainbow.
Yes.
And I had all of my Hot Topic t-shirts, like rainbow bright, like vintage tees from Hot Topic. And then I had every color Converse. And I wore my hair in like high buns, and everything was rainbow. Obsessed with rainbow.
Like rainbow bright?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so...
Wait, what year was this?
This was... I graduated high school in 2004, so that would be
like
1999.
Okay.
98, 97.
Okay.
And so, if I couldn't find a certain color Converse, I would dye them myself.
You really took it to the next level.
Oh yeah, I was obsessed.
You were devoted to
this. I was devoted. Yeah.
Okay, I love that. But I feel like, I always say this when people will say like what they feel was like a mistake. I'm always like, it was so of the era. It was like so, I was in college in 95 to 99, and I like remember that like skaterish punk, like rainbow bright, like raver sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that style. And I feel like you actually sound like you did it really well. So,
Well, it's actually back now. I mean, not what I was wearing,
Right.
but the juku, what are the...
oh, Harajuku girl?
No,
no.
the pants, the really wide leg.
The Jenkos.
Jenkos.
Yeah, I know. No, it's crazy. Actually, my brother has been wearing really baggy jeans. He went from like skinny, like hipster jeans, and now he went totally the opposite way.
I'm not loving that look.
The baggy.
Yeah.
He's not wearing they're just baggier, but not like that crazy wide leg.
Okay,
I'm like,
okay.
he's too old for that. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the
But
crazy wide
no,
leg
he
is
puts
weird.
it together well, but it's just funny how like the proportions, and it's probably like this with furniture also, is that like there's always a classic way to do something,
course.
but then there's like you can probably see it the way that we see it with fashion, with furniture and interior design, and how it like
100%.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's like it goes from like one thing to like the total extreme thing.
Well, that's like my favorite part about redesigning these pieces is, you know, taking it and saying, okay, what do I love about this and what do I not love about
Yes.
this? And so changing the what do I not love. And a lot of that time, you know, clients are like, oh, should we do piping? You know, and I'm like, to be honest, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
And piping is so old school. So it depends on the piece. I'm
Yes.
not against piping.
Right.
I think piping belongs on certain
Yes.
pieces. But I think like, you know, it has it's a certain detail that we don't want to add to that
Right.
piece because it's not going to do it justice.
Yes.
So it's really about making like the smartest decisions for your piece and really elevating its style.
Yes. Like for example, the cushion that's behind you is this insanely, I'm obsessed with it. Like
It's
I
so
just
cute.
love the way that it curves and the way that it is finished. It's just like I just want to snuggle with it.
Yeah. It's the elbow cushion.
Yeah, it's the best. I love it. I love a curved cushion. Okay, let's see here. What is the most versatile piece in your wardrobe?
Versatile. Well, I would say I have these like really cool pants that I got in Japan, which are college cords. So they are actually the pants themselves are vintage. They're like vintage painters' pants. But then this artist I was walking by the store in Tokyo, and I just fell in love with the stuff. The stuff was like hand painted. So I'll have to show you a picture.
Oh, is it that they draw?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've seen a corduroy skirt like that.
Yes. So traditionally back, and I might be totally wrong, I think it's 50s, 60s, like it's like a tradition, college cords, basically like college kids would draw, like when you're
Yes.
graduating,
Yes.
they would, it's like a rite of passage, they
Yes.
would like draw on your corduroys. And
It's like signing a yearbook.
Yes,
but
exactly.
yes.
Yeah. So those are worth thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Like if you find them online, they're insanely expensive. And I dream one day of owning a pair, but I have my own college cords that are made by this woman in Tokyo. She's this insane artist, and it's the coolest artwork, like McDonald's and frogs and strange,
Yeah.
super weird things. But they fit beautiful, and they are so cool. You can dress them up. You can put them in heels.
Yes.
And a cute top, or you can like wear them with docks. Like
Yes.
very versatile.
Well, as the name of your brand,
HiLo.
HiLo, and that is like what I live and die by. So it makes total sense. And I used to hate saying, you could dress it up, you could dress it down, but honestly, that is what makes a piece versatile. And yeah, so I love that. I would love to know if there was a time, an event or a place that you wore the college cords to, and what you were wearing with them, and like tell us about an outfit.
Yeah. So I went to Luna Luna in the city. It's this like carnival exhibit.
I want to go to that.
It's really cool.
yeah.
It's really cool. And I wore the college cords. I wore these red patent pointy toe heels. And
What color are the cords?
So they're actually all multicolor, like tons of different drawings
Okay.
on them. They're crazy.
Right.
But they have these really cool like carnival stripes at the very bottom.
Do you have a picture of you in them?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you send it to
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And I wore a velvet, like super loose, sexy, like just top, and then my fur coat. It was like it's like a fox fur
my
coat,
God.
a vintage fur coat, and it was just like I loved it. It
Yeah.
was like such a good look.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. I love like having a visual for the YouTube, but I'm imagining this and it sounds amazing. It's like right up my alley. Yeah.
It's fun. It's like different textures and different like pops of color. And it just, when you feel like you can like ace something, it feels so good.
So good. And I feel like that is also an interior design. And when you're styling a couch or a chair or whatever, you do that so well.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's see, what else did we not cover? I think we are at our last question, which is, what look will you never be over?
I bought this dress on Etsy for my brother's wedding that is kind of what we were talking about, where long dresses don't necessarily work for our bodies.
Right.
But it's this gorgeous, again, 1960s paisley print, high neck, but everything's tight. And it has this little keyhole right here. And I was like, this is the most perfect dress, except it needs a slit. And it needs a really high slit.
Yes.
So I wore that. I got a slit in it.
Where was the wedding?
It was in Austin, Texas. Okay. And I wore these beautiful blue wavy Prada stilettos that I have. And it was just like, it was just insane. It was beautiful.
And were people just like dying
just
over the
dying,
look?
because it's
what color is the dress?
Like electric blue.
Oh, so the shoes and the dress like went together. Yeah, that's so, it's perfect.
Yeah, I love it, and I love it so much. But unfortunately, it's like falling apart. But they always say, you know, fix what's worth fixing.
Yes.
You know, this stuff is worth fixing.
Right.
So, and it can be fixed.
Yeah.
So
it doesn't even, like, the value is like just so, I guess it's like invaluable. Yep. You can't put a price on it, really. Yeah. I feel like we need some photos of we're going to put some photos of some of the pieces that you've designed and then some of the looks that you've talked about, because I can't wait to see. All right. So we're going to wrap things up by asking 3 questions that I ask everybody at the end. What is the first thing you do in the morning?
I walk my dog. Actually, my husband walks my dog. That's a lie. We switch.
Okay.
But as of recently, he's been walking the dog in the morning.
Okay.
So the first thing that I do is I cook breakfast. I immediately cook breakfast.
So you're like a breakfast person.
I have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I have to.
And what is like your favorite thing to cook?
Favorite thing, or what do I typically?
What do you typically?
I'm making eggs in the morning.
Okay.
Poached eggs.
Yeah, so good, because it's like
So
you get your
good.
protein.
Yes.
And are you a coffee person?
Unfortunately, not anymore.
Okay.
But I turned into matcha, but then I'm not a matcha person anymore. I can't do caffeine. No more caffeine.
Okay.
So I do actually rooibos chai.
Okay.
So I make chai lattes. So it's
sounds
decaf.
good.
So basically, it's naturally decaffeinated.
Yes.
And I do chai lattes, and
Yum.
it makes me very happy.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the last thing you do before you go to bed?
Walk my dog.
Okay, that's you have to do
That's
it at
actually
night.
what's happening. Yeah, that's actually what's happening. So that or brush my teeth. One of the two.
Okay, and what do you sleep in?
Oh, I don't sleep in anything.
Okay, you're actually the third person that has said that. The first 12 guests were like baggy sweatpants, t-shirt, socks, and okay, so you're a sleep. Do you have special sheets that you like?
We have really nice sheets. I don't remember the brand, but
Okay.
they're like 100% natural, super high thread count. I mean, beautiful. We love our sheets.
Okay. I want to know what they are, even if it's just you're telling me, but I want to know. I love
I'll give
sheets.
you the name.
Okay, cool. So tell everyone where to find you.
So I'm on Instagram, HiLo Brooklyn, HILO Brooklyn. Yeah, it's not the other way. So HILO Brooklyn. I just realized I had to say that because people think it's
totally.
Anyway.
Yep.
I'm working on a website. I'm hoping to see yours soon. I wanna
mine
talk to you about
is
that.
launching next week. But I have a lot of back end stuff to do, so I'm like dreading that.
All the photographs,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
I know it.
Totally, it's a lot of work. But so for now, it's mostly Instagram.
And then I have my Etsy, but that's strictly for marketing. So I post all of my pieces, or at least I try to, on Etsy for marketing. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. But I definitely am looking forward to getting websites.
Yeah. I mean, the Instagram is so well done, so
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great.
I need to add a little more of myself to it.
Yes. I think you should actually start posting some pics of you in these outfits. I do.
see.
I know it's hard for Virgos, but
We'll see.
you know, we want to see you.
I
We
know.
want to see what you're wearing. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, we'll see you soon.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.